Hey, this is Brian Adias. Give me back my pro wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
For those who don't know, now you know, baby. This is Hot Rod Biggs, Jared, Jimmy Street. We're going to take them to the limit one more time, baby, right here on Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one more time to the Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling podcast, and it is me, your host, Jimmy Street, here as always. And guys, I hope y'all are having a great day. Thank you so much for stopping by and checking out what we're doing over here. Today we have an awesome show. We have the one and only Brian Adias today, and this one we've been working to get for a while now. I had Brian back on the Live and in Color with Wolfie D podcast maybe a year or so ago, and had a great conversation, and wanted to get him on this show, and luckily everything lined up, and Brian is here today, so y'all stay tuned for that. He'll be with us very soon. But before we get to Brian, I got a couple things to cover. Obviously, last episode was This Month in Wrestling History with Quinton Quarisma, episode 12. Quinton covered some awesome stuff. We had a great time as always. Q does a great job with all the history of this business, and we just appreciate it so much. So I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as we did making it. Thanks again. Another thing is I was recently back on Super Mario's Tennessee Turnbuckle show for the second time. So y'all go ahead and check that out at knoxcm.org, or you can search the Tennessee Turnbuckle on the Internet Archive. Thanks again, Mario. Had a lot of fun, man. I really appreciate that. And thanks for letting me promote the show, and can't wait to do it again, brother. All right, guys, that is all I have for the open today. We're keeping it brief. Welcome to the show, Brian Adias. All right, we are back with another excellent show. Quinton, you know, this is one I have wanted for a long time. We have talked about having this gentleman on for a really long time. I've been in contact with this gentleman, and honestly, you know, what really restarted my desire to have this gentleman on the show, it was really good to see him recently in the Von Erich biography on A&E a little while ago. It seemed like a really cool way to get to tell the story, especially including like the kids and the family and you, of course, and others. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, the one and only Step Von Erich, Brian Adias. Sir, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, man. It's a pleasure being here. I'm glad the deal on A&E, the show on A&E, we got to do that because it actually told a side of the Von Erichs that most people have never heard. They've heard a lot of the bad stuff and all that, but they've not heard from the beginning when all the good stuff growing up and everything associated with that. So I think it gave people an insight that they had not had before.
No, and you know, between the Iron Claw movie and other maybe, I don't know, punching below the belt documentaries, stuff like that, this one seemed like it had the heart that the Von Erich legacy was built on, and what made them such huge stars. It felt like this one had the heart in it that maybe the others had not, if that makes any sense at all.
Makes perfect sense, because I talked to the producers of that segment, and I told them, I said, let me get something straight. I spent hours on the phone talking to them about, you know, my views and all that, and I wasn't going to do anything that was going to do the old same old routine where, you know, all the stuff with Von Erichs and the curse and all this. I said, I'm just not going to be part of that. I hadn't been part of that other. I'd done one before and they kind of twisted it around, but I learned from that one. So when we did this one, it was, they said what they were going to do, and they actually did it. I was real happy with the way it turned out.
Yeah. Yeah. It was great. And, just so good. I mean, the story, it's like Camelot in a lot of ways, and the story kind of just, I could see where it could become fiction more than fact as time goes on, because people like to spin things and make things more, romantic or whatever, dramatic, I guess is what I'm trying to say, than they need to be. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, well, Hollywood
yeah.
is a different world than what we live in, and they always want to spin it the way they want to. It's like they want to make it into what they want it to be rather than what it actually was. And that's what I went to talk to these people at Lynx about this deal on A&E, and it turned out really, really well. So
yeah, it was a great job and really great to see, and so happy that they actually got to tell the story that way. It was very, very good to see. Let's just go ahead and go into that. I mean, this is kind of the big question of the show probably, but how was it growing up with the Von Erichs?
Well, it was great. When Kerry and I started first grade together, and, we met on the first day of first grade and right on the playground, and I had no idea who he was, and he didn't go around broadcasting anything. Of course, we were 6 years old, so it's kind of, we were friends way before I knew who his dad was. And even after I knew who his dad was when we were growing up, it just really wasn't like I wanted to be friends with him because his dad was Fritz Von Erich. We were just buddies just because we were buddies, so
yeah.
You build friendships when you're a kid. You don't know anything about money and all that type of stuff. So we were friends before any of the wrestling ever even came into play.
Yeah.
All right. So this is kind of a couple part question here. So who trained you, what year, and where'd you train at?
I broke in at the Sportatorium. And what a lot of people don't know, I mean, Kerry came down there and worked with me, but David Manning is the one that went down there day after day after day that actually trained me the moves and the psychology. Like the first 3 weeks I trained, there was three guys here from Japan, because Fritz used to go over for Baba, and then Baba would send some of his boys over here to work the territory. And one of them was Sakurada. That was the Sakurada, and then Kendo Nagasaki later or whatever, but he was just extremely stiff. And that's how those Japanese promoters, they beat the crap out of them guys, so they came over here. These three guys did me the same way that they were done in Japan, so I got beat out of me for about 3 weeks. And then finally Fritz came down, and because his office was there at the Sportatorium, and watched me one day, and the Japs, they had broken English, and they said, "He's good to go. We're tired of beating on him." So thank goodness he came down there, and they said, "We've had enough. We're tired of beating on him. So let's let him learn something now."
Wow.
1979, and there was a heat wave in Dallas Fort Worth. 79 and 80. It was over 100 degrees for over 100 days in a row, and I was down there in that tin building in the Sportatorium baking. It was so hot, it was ridiculous.
Oh.
Tin building with no air conditioning. So it was in July and August. So it was toasty.
Man.
Dang. So we're going to lead into your first match. When was it? Who was against? And what name did you use?
I used Brian Adias at first. And then after things got rolling and they saw me on TV, Adidas Corporation, they wanted me to change the name. So what we did, we just changed the spelling. We pulled the last D out and made it Adias. So, but my first match was with Don Diamond.
Okay.
And man, I can't remember if it was 79 or 80. I think it was August of something. I've got even the card. I can text it to you. And it was August something. 1980 is when I had my first match. I broke in 79 in the summer, because I was going to University of Texas, Arlington. And back then, and when you were NCAA, you could not be a pro and make money back then at anything.
Yeah.
So I could only work in the wrestling business in the summer when I was not enrolled in college.
Okay.
So that's that summer, 1980, when I was at summer break from University of Texas, Arlington. I threw shot and discus on the track team over there. I got my first month.
Cool. So early in your world-class days, I saw that you worked Frank Dusek a lot. What's your memories of Frank Dusek?
Frank was great, and I even saw some things about what he said about me. He said Brian Adias was great because I listened. I totally listened to everything he said because that's what you did back then. You didn't come out there and call anything. You're the guy you were working with. If you're a little baby face, the heel called it. He was great, man. I learned a lot from him, a bunch. So he was a super nice guy, and I have a lot of respect for him.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, very cool. Well,
Frank, on your deal here?
no, we haven't. We've tried, actually. It just didn't work out.
Oh, really? Okay, because he is a plethora of knowledge, and still, he even it surfaced here a while back where he had a booking sheet from 1979.
Wow.
That they handed out at the Sportatorium.
Oh, wow. Holy cow. Man, I need to see that too. Okay, well, on June 21st, 1982, you beat Bill Irwin for the World Class TV title. Do you remember anything about that match?
Oh, yeah. That was really my first time I won. It was him. They were, I think that was the Super Destroyers, or was it him and his brother were out there? I can't remember if they were the Super Destroyers or if they were just the Long Riders or the Wild Ones where they wore their Western stuff. But yeah, I think I pinned him in like 15 seconds or something. The bell rang and they weren't paying attention, and I schoolboyed him or rolled him up or something. So yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was in the Will Rogers, not the Coliseum, but the other one.
Gotcha. Okay. And then also very early in your career, you worked the champ, Ric Flair. How was it working him so early?
It was crazy. That was wild, man. Matter of fact, I worked with him in that same building too.
Okay.
That was Will Rogers Auditorium.
Yeah.
It was old one where they had, it's kind of set up like a theater where it's up on the stage. But yeah, I worked with Flair there. It was really early on, and I didn't have a clue what I was doing, but he made me look great, so
yeah,
did some nice moves and stuff. Matter of fact, I'd like to see that match sometime if somebody had it. So
yeah, well, let us know. Post it in the comments there. What's your memories of the checkmate Tony Charles?
He was in here, I think, mostly when I was back in school, but I'd come up to the Sportatorium even when I was in college, just to watch and talk to the boys. But yeah, he was from England, right? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, he was Kerry really liked him too. He liked and David Manning really liked Tony Charles, and what was the other guy that did some do those color up in WWF, the little Englishman?
Oh, Lord Alfred Hayes.
Lord Alfred Hayes. Yeah, David Manning had a ton of respect for Lord Alfred Hayes when he was teaching David about refereeing and all that. It was really cool. So
that is cool.
Tell us about working King Kong Bundy early on.
Oh man, he was great. I really liked him, man. He was real intelligent. People, on this on the outside here didn't really ever get to see somebody how they really were, but man, intellectually he was really smart, man. Real well read and knowledge, high IQ type of guy, you know what I mean? So
seemed like he was pretty funny too.
He was great. He was hilarious. He was always trying to tell jokes and all this stuff, but he was great. I really I really like Chris.
Yeah, he was really smart because he invested in Apple early on and made a killing.
I believe it. Yeah, he was, like I said, he was really intelligent. So did Fritz. Fritz did too.
That's cool.
Fritz invested, and he's telling everybody else that to invest in it as well. So
Wow.
That's awesome.
I didn't know that. Dang.
yeah, Bronco Lubitsch had invested in AT&T like back in the 50s, 40s, and 50s.
Wow.
The Ma Bell.
Yeah, old Ma Bell and Telegraph, American Telephone and Telegraph.
Right.
When
Yeah.
they were early on, he was Bronco. His family had no idea. His wife and his two girls, when he passed away, he was worth like nearly $20 million.
Wow.
Never know
for him.
He never spent any of his money, and he never sold any of his stocks. He just held on to them.
Good for him.
Yeah, he was Bronco was a classic too, man. I was fortunate, and I even got to spend some time with Bulldog Danny Pletchis. Went in there probably about a year before he passed away, and I got to spend some time with him down there at Sportatorium, and we went fishing up at Lake Texoma here, and it's a big, the big lake river that separates Texas and Oklahoma.
Mhm.
It's called Lake Texoma, and there was really tons of stripers in there, and we would go fishing up there. And he would have a boat, and we would have our Fritz's boat, and we had a blast with him. What a classic he was.
Who outfished who?
Oh, he caught a bunch. We all caught a bunch, man. They would be surfacing, and you could take two just spoons, just chrome spoons, and put them 3 feet apart, throw out there and catch 2 fish at a time.
Wow.
Over and over when they were surfacing and hitting the bait fish, So
Yeah, that's awesome.
that's what we did growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you mention Bronco? Do you have a good Bronco story for us?
Oh man. I don't know if there's any one thing that really, just Bronco in general, the way he was, he would buy a new Oldsmobile 88 every 10 years. He would
Nice.
drive a car for 10 years and then he would get another one. But I do remember he got pulled over one time, and he used to always have those little drops that you put on your, after he smoked cigars. So he wanted to make his breath fresh, so he'd have those little drops, and they were like 100% alcohol or something. And he got pulled over one time.
Oh man.
And, the cops, I don't know why he would think Bronco was drinking, because Bronco didn't drink, but they did a deal, and right before the guy came up to Bronco's car, he did his little drops, and he blew like a .40, like he was super drunk. And
Oh my gosh.
the cops laughed it off because he had those little drops, and they let it go and everything. But man, it was hilarious. Bronco was going to get taken in for a DWI because he had those drops. So
That's a great story.
he's freaking out, man. So he was great, man. Bronco was just what a nice man.
Yeah.
So in March of '83, you show up in Portland for Don Owen. How'd you get up there?
I just went up there because Fritz wanted me to go up there and learn, because a lot of people went there that were starting out, because you could work every day there.
Yeah.
And I went up there for about 8 months. I came back in November of '83. But yeah, what a great place to learn. You literally worked 7 days a week up there. When you had a day off, it was something you didn't even know what to do with yourself, because you used to drive, and it's about 3,000 miles a week, man. So it was brutal, but it was, I made good money, came back with, a bunch of money in the bank, and learned. And then I I was actually going to go to Memphis for a little bit, and I didn't like that. So then I went over to Mid-South for Watts, and I really wasn't far enough along to do anything over there with a program or nothing. So I went to Charlotte for a year and a half, and that's where I really learned how to work. Wahoo McDaniel and Flair, and all those guys, Dory Funk, Tully Blanchard was over there, and Dusty later on. But I worked with some really class people over there that knew how to work, So that's when I came back here in '85. I was polished and ready to go.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna back up a little bit back to Portland. I noticed you worked with Chris Colt a lot up there. What can you tell us about Chris Colt?
Oh man, it was just I think he was like when he was younger, he was a big deal or something up there. But he was a little older when I went up there. A super nice guy, wore all those leather stuff. But we had just some good basic matches, So worked with him on TV some, but I think he'd work shows sometimes. Stan Stasiak was up there too during that time. So
yeah.
Stan lived up there. What a class act he was, man. So
definitely.
He even was a WWF champion there for.
Yep, he was.
He was a nice guy.
And while you're up there in August of '83, you and Buddy Rose beat Rip Oliver and the Assassin for the tag titles. Tell us about that title run and teaming with Buddy.
No, man, Buddy was a great worker. And that was like that's where he made his home. And he would do all these angles and always made good money. And he was really over up there. But we tagged together, and I learned a lot. Rip Oliver and Assassin, they were both really good workers for up there as well, so they were all about business. So me and Buddy taught me a ton about tag teaming when we were tag team partners.
Yeah. And then I noticed, and I can't wait to hear this. So towards the end of your Portland run, you worked the Dynamite Kid a lot. Do you remember how was it working with him?
Yeah, he was just nonstop, man, and great worker. It was, but then doing Al Madril and Al was there with me, and I learned a ton from Al Madril too. But Al, going just bam, 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 just doing a bunch of moves back to back to back. The people never have time to, to sit back and really get into the match because it's nothing but just, bumps and high spot stuff. So you've got he went on and did great in, WWF, but he ended up, something happened to his back and he just couldn't even walk anymore. And that was the end. But I really liked him, man. He was a super, super nice guy. So, with me, he was always, nothing but business and just a class act all the way around, So.
Yeah. And this next question, I was going to ask it in one way, but I think I'm going to ask it in a different way. So the initial question is, how was it working for Don Owen? I would like to actually hear you maybe compare him and Fritz a little. I know it may be tough this early in your career to compare the two, but what would you compare about him and Fritz?
Well, Fritz and Don had a lot of respect for each other because they, like I said, they went back and forth with talent, So and there was all the territories, and when you got finished with one place, you could go to another. And Don and Fritz always had a, that NWA deal together. Basically, they were NWA up there as well. So, but comparing them is like comparing, a deer to a grizzly bear. There's totally different animals, So. Don was a trip, man. He cussed all the time, and Don would come to the wrestling matches and talk more about his cows and how he was trying to get his hay dried so he could bale it than he would the wrestling. It's damn rain. I can't, because it rained all the time up there.
Yeah.
More he'd had it. I just cut my hay and the damn rain won't stop, and cows don't get this hay bale, I'm going to have to sell, So he was more concerned about his cows and his hay than he was wrestling.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was funny, man.
That's funny.
The very last Saturday night that I was there, he said my name right. He said my name wrong for the whole on TV. He introduced the matches. He said my name wrong all the way until the very last Saturday night that I was there. You finally got my name right, and I'm leaving. So he didn't understand how to say Adidas because I just went by Adidas up there, and he called me Adias and all kind of different stuff. So
Adidas.
everything, man, anything but Adidas. So the trip.
Oh man.
With these hard names, I know, Don. It's all my fault.
My wet hay and these hard names.
Yeah, that's funny, man. He was a class act boy. He paid really well.
We've heard that. Yeah.
I remember the first night I went up there, and I worked there at Portland, and I made double what I thought I was going to make. So that's really, really cool, be up there.
Yeah.
I came back just in 8 months. I saved like 10 grand, so.
Wow.
Gee.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of money in 83, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all that, anytime you worked up in Washington, they would just, you paid cash in Oregon every time you worked. You got paid cash with Elton Owen and Sandy Barr and all the different, the stuff you did there. But when you went up into Washington and Seattle, they would pay you a check once a week, so. And I just sent those checks home and had my mom put them in my account here. So I had all that money waiting for me. I never spent any of that money from Washington,
Wow.
And I had a bunch of cash that I'd made working for cash too. So
that's awesome.
I just want to back up a little bit. You talked about Mid-South working for Bill Watts. It was really short. So what do you remember about Bill Watts that short time you were there?
He was just, he was really, he run like old school. He wanted basically run by fear and, just, screaming at everybody and all this stuff. I didn't like that shit, so we're a bunch of, man, you don't need to, treat people like that. But, he had a great mind for the business. He went on to go up to WWF, but he had a great mind for finishes and all that stuff. But I didn't enjoy being there at Shreveport TV and you could just hear him. People could hear him down in the auditorium screaming, and
Jeez.
He treated Grizzly Smith like a dog. Ernie Ladd, help book. He would talk to them like they were redheaded stepchildren. So I never did. Personally, he didn't ever do anything with me, but the way he treated his booker and everything, it was not how I would treat somebody, So, but we all have our own deal, So
yeah.
All right. So when you said you went to Carolina, what was your contacting to get over into Carolina?
Flair got me over to Carolina. So
wow.
Yeah.
So like I said, Flair knew me from here and everything. So, and he came up to, Harley Race was the champ when I was in Portland for a little bit, and Flair was too. So, when Flair got the belt back from Harley Race there in '83, we wrestled at the Portland Civic Center, and Flair and Roddy Piper worked. Man, it was packed. So they would sell out when Roddy came up there to work with Flair. So,
man,
wow,
yeah,
really just packed. That big arena in Portland.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with more Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling.
Are you a pro wrestling fan? Well, stop by Captain's Corner, where you can get autographed photos, cards, magazines, and figures from all of your favorite wrestling superstars of the past, present, and future. You'll also be able to participate in live signings in the weeks and months to come. Make sure to stop by Captain's Corner on Facebook and give us a holler. Remember, cheers to the working man.
Do you ever dream of taking a tropical cruise? How about taking that cruise with the modern-day warrior, Kerry Von Erich, or the sensational Jeff Jarrett, or any of the other great world-class stars? Now your dream can come true. Almost true, as Gordon and Jean, the owners of Spring Creek Charters in Louisville, invite you to cruise aboard the world-class floating Party Palace. You'll cruise Lake Louisville in style with your favorite world-class stars on board this magnificent 57-foot yacht. You'll begin the day at our pier party hosted by Charlie's Restaurant and Lounge at Scotty's Pier 121. Bring your appetites because there's plenty of great food provided by Texas Choice Steakhouse. Known for years as the home of the best steak in the Metroplex, the chow is every bit as good as it looks. For the low, low price of just $40 per person, you'll enjoy this magnificent cruise of Lake Louisville. Plus, you'll have the opportunity to meet world-class stars like the modern-day warrior Kerry Von Erich or Jeff Jarrett away from the ring wars of the Sportatorium. The cameras will be there, so you'll receive a unique autographed memento of your cruise, one that you'll cherish forever. Cruises begin Sunday, July the 2nd, with the modern-day warrior Kerry Von Erich.
Hi, I'm Kerry Von Erich. Join me at Charlie's Restaurant at Scott's Pier 121, Lake Louisville, Sunday, July 2nd. That's July 2nd, folks. Come on out for a party. Make me sign autographs. We're going to have a great time, great day on the lake. So come on out July 2nd and join me on the cruise of a lifetime.
So in June of '84, when you working for Crockett, you beat Don Kernodle for the NWA Canadian TV title. I know it was a short run. Do you remember anything about it?
Oh yeah, it was in the Toronto Maple Leaf Gardens, and yeah, I went up there, and I would go to Canada every 3 weeks and stay for like 3 or 4 days. We'd make the loop up there from Charlotte. I'd fly up there, and then I remember flying like up there on Wednesday and coming back on Sunday morning. But yeah, I was beat Don for the TV title, so that was a big deal back then, So
Yeah, definitely.
at the Maple Leaf Gardens, that was like a really back then. That was a nice building. It held had a lot of a stigma,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Sportatorium.
Right. During your run in Crockett, you worked Ron Bass and Black Bart a lot with several different partners. What do you remember about Bass and Bart?
They were great tag team people. I mainly worked with Rotunda, Mike Rotundo. So he and I were tag team partners up there a lot. So, but like I said, I worked with Angelo Mosca Jr. and Mike Rotundo and all that. So it was, they were great. They worked really well. They worked in Florida, and then when Dusty was coming up here, they came up here as well. But they were great tag team.
Yeah. Rest in peace to both gentlemen, I guess, right? So, yeah.
Black Bart had cancer. He had colon cancer, and finally.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question. This wasn't on our list, but it just popped in my head. Okay, can I get your honest opinion on this? You mentioned Angelo Mosca Jr. People they bury him and they just say he was horrible. What was your actual opinion on him?
Well, first off, they're in Carolina, and he's got his dad, the big bruiser, and he wasn't. I don't think Angelo's heart was ever truly into the wrestling, but he did it because of his dad. But Dusty didn't like Mosca Senior, so therefore I think it kind of went over to Junior. But Angelo Mosca Jr. was one of the nicest dudes I've ever met in my life. I enjoyed working with him when we were tag team partners, and super nice guy. His, people, I don't say one way or another, how his working ability, because I'd always worked with him, not against him, So
Yeah.
But, he did everything in our tag teams. He never missed a beat. He knew what he was doing. But it depends on, if you don't get a push, you don't look great like all the people that get the big push. So
That's true.
Yeah. Well, this gentleman is one of our favorites on the show. We always love hearing stories about him. Tell us about working with Uncle Ivan Koloff.
Oh, man. What a classic. He worked this guy, he was probably in his 50s.
Yeah.
When I was there in the 80s. And man, he worked the same as when he was younger. He was just a machine, man, nonstop, Those Canadians, they just were bump freaks, They just, Koloff he had this great gimmick, and what a nice guy too, man. What a class act he was to work with. So,
did you take the knee bump off the top rope? I guess, what is it called, where he puts the knee in the back of your head? I'm not sure the name of that move, but
I don't think I ever took that. So
yeah,
I wasn't ever doing jobs or up for that type of stuff, So
I didn't know if he did. Yeah, he did that in a match with you or not. I understand. Yeah,
I don't recall.
Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. And then you brought it up, like we've been talking about this earlier. Early in '85, you end up back home in world class. So it was time to go home.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. It's like I'd been out there for, nearly 3 calendar years, So
wow. Yeah.
It was all of '83, '84, some of '85. Yeah, I enjoyed getting home. And man, first thing I did, I worked with Chris Adams, and we had some great matches, And
yes, you did.
Then I, went along at Texas champion, several times and all that, but then end up turning heel later on. It was kind of a natural. They were, Kerry. Mike, I worked with Mike when I turned heel, and then, Mike passed away. And then they had Lance and Kevin, and, Kerry had gotten hurt on a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Then I turned on Mike, and then, we did all this stuff leading back up to when Kerry came back. And then I worked with Kerry and worked heel there. But I really enjoyed working heel. It was deal where you could do anything you wanted to, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun. It was wild working with Kerry. We're in the middle of the ring laughing, talking about things we did when we were kids at the middle of Reunion Arena, and we're laughing and showing and talking about stuff what they did when we were kids. It's kind of crazy to know the behind the scenes deal there.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to watch those matches now and look for that.
Yeah, that's where we duck our head. So
yeah, okay.
All right. So you talked about the Texas heavyweight title. The first time they put it on you, you beat Gino Hernandez for it. Do you remember about that first run with that belt?
Yeah. Gino was great, man, and he really understood the business, and it helped me along, because everybody, everything was around the Von Erichs here, but he told them, he said, the stronger they make me, the better your middle card and everything is, the more support you have. And then it was his idea to, put me over because, I was going to give it back to him, but he did that out of pure business. That was his idea because he knew it would help me and it would help the business in general. So if everything was about the Von Erichs, you got to have some support cast too, and that's what he was about. And because he was over, he's going to be over either way. So, but yeah, he did me a great favor there and made me look really great to beat somebody like him. Wow.
Tell us about the Cosmic Cowboys and the World 6-Man Tag Titles.
I don't hardly remember. We were the Cosmic Cowboys.
They said that. Everything I read, it said that's what they were calling y'all. So I don't remember seeing it when I used to watch, or when I watched the World Class stuff. I never heard y'all call that, but I've seen all over the internet. They were saying they were calling when y'all did the 6-man, they were calling y'all the Cosmic Cowboys. So I was wondering where that came from.
Kerry and Kevin.
Yeah, you, Kerry, and Kevin. Yeah,
I never hear that. So.
Yeah, I've never heard it on the TV, but like I said, when I was doing research, it was everywhere, and I was like, I never heard I had to put it in there. That's why, because I never heard it either.
I never heard that one either, so that's new to me. But yeah, we were the Birds. We put it over there, and it was once again, Buddy was always the fall guy, and then when we gave him the belts back, I went ahead and did the fall, of course, because the Von Erichs, but it was just one thing that, to help them, to help me get over some more too, as a 6-man with the Von Erichs. So once again, it's about building a sport cast and everything. And, where it shows I was capable of working to be a one of the 6-man world tag team champions, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just before you turn heel, I want to get one more question before you turn heel here. You worked some matches with the Dingo Warrior. How was that?
yeah, he was. It was brutal at first. He never listened. He never wanted to listen. And you know, I finally told him. I said, Jim, you're going to have to, you're going to have to listen. You just can't come out here and. Because we were just doing DQs for the most part until I turned heel, you know.
Yeah.
I might put somebody over when I'm a heel, but you can't beat somebody up and then beat them. It just doesn't mean anything. And boy, getting him to fall into that deal was rough. So, you know, when I turned heel and working with him, I would have to slow him down. I'd stick him in the eye with my finger and so you're either going to start listening to me or you're going to go blind. Which one do you want to do? So pissed off, you know. But I said, you're not going to beat me up and then beat me because it means nothing. So
right,
you want to do that? You'll be the one-eyed warrior. You know? How big and how tough you are when somebody sticks your finger in your eye, it hurts. You know.
Yes.
Listen, or you're going to go blind. So.
I love it.
Behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah. Again, I love it. So you did bring this up. October 86, you turned heel on Mike. And they put you with our co-host Quinton's favorite wrestler, or one of his favorite wrestlers, Al Madril. He's slowly become one of our favorites as well. And then they put the tag belts on y'all. Tell us about your time working with Al.
I think that my time with Al was some of my favorite times in the business because Al was really a good worker. And technically and psychologically, he was great. So I learned so much when I worked with Al. I wish they would have used us better. I wish they would have let us go on TV and, you know, beat up some jobbers and stuff like that. And then, you know, work some more where right when we worked with the Von Erichs, they beat us, you know, and it just wasn't, they didn't use us the way I thought they should have. We could have been over. Because we were the duo of doom is what they were calling us. So,
okay. Yeah.
That was great. So I really enjoyed working with Al. And we got over too, you know.
Oh, yeah.
We were over when Kerry came back and had crutches and, you know, I wouldn't help him. And then Al hit him with that, hit him with his crutches, kicked him down, and then Al hit him with those crutches and bent those crutches, man. That was
yes.
That was heavy. So that got some heat, you know.
Yeah, definitely bent them.
Yeah. It bent it. And that rubber deal on it flew way up in the air. Hell, Mark Rentz jumped on to help Kerry.
I remember that.
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah, he took his jacket off, didn't he? Took his jacket off.
He got so pulled into it that he jumped in there. Well, it must have looked really good if you jumped in there to help him. So,
yeah.
He said, I couldn't help myself. I was like, damn, Mark, that's a work. No, but I see, he said, they must have been good because it sure pulled me in there. Yeah, he wanted to jump on top of Kerry and save us from beating on him. But that was a great deal, man. Boy, then Kevin come down there and I didn't help Kerry, you know, so that cemented me as the heel right there, you know. I got over more by not beating on Kerry than I did if I would have beat on him, you know.
Yeah.
Sitting back and being a chicken shit and not helping was even better.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to backtrack. Can I backtrack to that match where you turned on Mike? I watched that the other night. I rewatched it. That bump you took through the ropes, how did you not kill yourself on that?
I just knew how to do it, man. I caught if you'll look, I always leave my arm running down the torso.
Okay.
And I would hook my hand, basically. Did you see me? It looked like I went straight to the floor.
Yeah. Yeah, it looked amazing.
Yeah, that was, and I ran really fast. If you watch, I always hit the ropes really hard. So
Yeah.
I wanted to do the same there, but I just acted like he tripped me.
Yeah.
But I was totally in control of the bump. I barely hooked my fingers on the rope as I'm going through to slow myself down, and that's how I did it. So
You couldn't tell it at all, man. It looked. When I saw that, I rewound it a couple times. I was like, man, that was one of the craziest bumps I've seen in a long time. That was excellent, man.
yeah, that was it turned out really well. So, but I knew done that so long where I, just total control of my body. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Wow.
but then I acted like, it was, and it worked, come out perfect where I acted like he tripped me when really it was me tripped myself basically. But I got pissed off because I thought he acted like he tripped me on purpose. And I was like, what are you tripping me for? And he goes, he helped me back in and everything. And then that's when people couldn't believe it, man. So, and you can see too, when I threw him into the ropes and I gave him a clothesline, I gave him a clothesline so hard that I fell into the ropes. Going, my momentum carried me.
Yeah.
And I hit the ropes after I knocked him down. So look at that one too. So
Okay. Yeah.
I told him, I said, I'm going to be shooting. So you have to take this bump. We got to make it look great. So I threw him off, and boy, I came with that meat hook, so, but I went through him so hard that I nearly slipped through the ropes hitting on my back,
Yeah. I remember the part I remember was when you cut him off and gave him the gut shot. The people it was kind of quiet, and then by the end of that match, they wanted to kill you.
Oh yeah, just that quick. So you see that shot I gave him to the gut looked like I hit him. Didn't it? We're super hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked good.
Yeah. I told him I was going to lay everything in, so just don't take it personal. So he was great. He did a real good job, man. So
it was a really good match. Like I said, I rewatched it the night and just we was going back and forth, and then you took that big bump, and then you come back in, and then you cheap shot him, you get on him. Like I said, the people were, at first were like, what just happened? And then the more you got on him, the more they just got hot, boy. So it was really good. The whole match, the way y'all set it up, it was really good.
That was everything was my idea on that. So
wow.
It's awesome. Yeah.
The whole psychology behind that. So I did it all off the cuff. So
yeah, I love it.
So when they turned you heel, so which one of the boys did you like working the best?
No, I like working with Kerry because he was over really well. But I like working with Mike too. Kevin was like going on a street fight. So I've had easier street fights, and it was good. So I'm not the first person that's ever said that either, am I?
No, sir.
No, you're not. We've had several guests on here said that.
But I love him to death. He's a great.
Yeah.
He's just one of those guys that just worked hard, and worked. He would eat you up if you didn't stop him, So
yeah,
you can't see through it because there's nothing to see through, right?
Just the way he worked, So
yeah.
So later in '87, they split you and Al up. Whose idea was to split y'all up?
No, I didn't like it though. So
yeah, I didn't hit it.
Turning him back babyface, So they just kind of ruined it, in my eyes. So
yeah, because I remember watching it, and y'all, like I said, y'all had so good. And I'm gonna tell you, you as a heel, I liked your work as a heel more than I did babyface because you were that sneaky chicken heel, and you did it to be a babyface that whole time, and then the way you worked it, man, it was classic heel. It was so good.
I appreciate it, man. So
it was really good because I just remember because you were always the big babyface, like the other Von Erich, and then and you would like when you jumped him at was it the Cotton Bowl? You jumped Kerry at the Cotton Bowl, and y'all fought out on the field. And you ran off. It was just you're like sneaky chicken. It was so good.
That's people hate that more than anything, you know.
Yep.
That's turning on the Von Erichs. It was just, I went on the interview saying, I've been thinking about this for since I was a kid. I'm sick of the Von Erichs, you know. Here I'm going to be my own man, you know. So people hated that. I told them I've been using them. Tell everybody I've been using the Von Erichs to get where I was going.
That's amazing. But half of them, I mean, like some of them, because haters think stuff like that. So some of the fans were like, oh, he's using the Von Erichs. And boom. I love it.
So tell us about working with Frankie the Thumper Lancaster winning the tag belts.
Oh, man. I didn't really know Frankie, but super nice guy and actually a good worker, but they weren't going to use people. You know, they went through hills down through here like crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The hill coming in out of here was just somebody to get beat up, you know. So, and then putting me with different people, you know, helps keep me fresh. And then I'm not the one getting beat. It's my partner, you know. But
yeah,
that was the only good thing about that. But when me and Al were over really well, and I really hated to split us up when we did, you know. So
yeah,
you know, that's business.
Yeah.
There's another guy that I want to ask you about that I'm a big fan of his work was Killer Tim Brooks.
No, yeah.
What do you mean by him?
I love Tim, man. I worked with him some of my first matches too. Well, he's a classic. What a great gimmick, you know, old motorcycle biker.
Yep.
I tell you what, Tim was tough too, man, for real tough. You know what I mean? So I love Tim. I hated to when he got cancer. I went down and saw him 2 different times right before he passed away, and I spent the whole day with him 2 different times. But what a great guy, man, and what a gimmick, and what a good worker. Oh, rough house, you know. So
yeah, I think he gets overlooked a lot.
They did well. Yeah. They didn't use him here like they should. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like here, they didn't. They would just come. The only thing I didn't like about being here was, but you know, everything was about the Von Erichs. That's okay. They drew money everywhere, but they would beat heels that would be over everywhere else, and just run them through here like they were just jobbers. You know?
Yeah,
they weren't. You know?
Mm-hmm.
But that's the business when your dad owns the business. So.
Yeah. Wow. It looks like in '88, we really couldn't find much or many matches with you in it. Where did you go in '88?
I more or less took some time off. So started working in the car business because I'd hurt my back a little bit, and it was coming back, nagging, you know, hurting. And I was afraid I was going to, my doctor said, man, you could really be hurt if you do this thing the wrong way, you know?
Yeah.
And, that was basically after that shit happened with the Dynamite Kid and all that, I think.
Yeah.
Possibly, or somebody, you know, had back trouble and they got hurt and they couldn't wrestle anymore. And I was kind of, you know, my back was really bothering me. And I went into the car business because I had a finance degree from University of Texas, Arlington. So I went right in the car business and did real well. So I worked the car business some during that time. So.
Okay. Gotcha. All right.
So did you ever work Dallas when Jerry Jarrett was running it?
No.
Was there a reason, or just because you're back when you were doing the car thing?
I was not going to work for them down there. Coming in there, they were just killing the business anyway with that old Memphis shit. So I wasn't going to work for them no matter what.
I figured something was it because, like I said,
well, I went over there and worked for 2 weeks in Memphis, and them didn't pay me my pay. Didn't pay me one dime.
What?
And I was there for 2 weeks. They jacked me out of my pay. So
we've heard a lot about Memphis's pay from several different
recent
people.
Yes.
Yeah, that was always the reason I left, was over money.
Yeah, Jarrett, you know, when they stuck me out there when I was over there, I worked for 2 weeks, and I went up there, told me they'd have my money at Memphis there, that last night, and they didn't have it, and Jarrett didn't even show up. So there's like, oh, we'll get. I gave them my forwarded address. I never got it.
Yeah.
I mean, they would never. Oh yeah, we sent it. They just lying ass shit. So they owed me about. They owed me about $3,000. So
that's messed up.
Not a ton of money, but it's a principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. So I noticed in '91 you showed back up and was working for Global. What made you want to come back?
I just wanted to see if I could still do it, and then I really at that time my heart was not into it anymore. With the Von Erichs, I saw the way it was, and it was just kind of disheartening, and I didn't really want to be any part of it. And they wanted to come in and have me do jobs and stuff, and I didn't want to do that. So they did that on purpose, where everybody that was here before, they wanted to kill them off. So I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. Tony Falk told me a story where when Global started up, he asked him to get he was looking for work, and they told him he couldn't ref, and if they did use him, they had to put on a mask and do the job because they were trying to get the whole world-class taste out of everybody's mouth. And I was just, I'm thinking, you got to have some world-class stuff in there to make it work,
Right. Yeah.
Well, they ruin it. If it wasn't dead, it was after that. It was pathetic what they tried to bring that Memphis shit and all that in here. And that stuff, people here in Dallas, if you didn't have some Von Erichs on the card, you didn't have nothing,
Yeah.
And I didn't want to be a part of that.
That makes sense. Well, you have answered all of our questions, Brian. This has been incredible. We cannot thank you enough for coming on. I know I bugged you a lot trying to get you to come on.
And I'm sorry, I had so much going on. I finally got a break. So sorry it took so long. I wasn't trying to be busy,
And I wasn't trying to bother you either.
No, you did great, man. You were very respectful, and I appreciate that. So
yes, sir. Well, that's the way you got to be with it's just the way everybody should be, So
yeah.
I guess my last question is, what are you up to now? You said something about you started out with David Manning, and now you're doing something with him as well. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, we started a company there's a tree that was originally from the Orient. It's called a Paulonia, and it grows super fast, and the wood is really light, and it's really strong. Like when you can take a piece that's like 5 feet long and compress it, and it's actually stronger than steel.
Whoa.
And it has a zero carbon output when it's burned, and it's super strong. They're using it for musical instruments like violins and big cellos, guitars, the wood, because it's really, really light.
Yeah.
5 foot piece of this wood, and it's about 12 inches in diameter, 12 to 14 inches. You just pick it up with one hand and hold it. It's just super strong. But once we get rolling, I'll send you our website link.
Yeah.
And I'll let you look at it, and you can check it out. And then once we get rolling, I can have you do some promos or something about it. So
absolutely love to do that. Absolutely. Would be happy to. So
and where are y'all based out of? Where y'all?
So I'm based out of Charlotte, North Carolina, and Quinton is in Bowling Green, Kentucky, but we met each other in Nashville. If that makes it confusing enough.
And I saw y'all, did I see y'all down in Florida, or did I?
We actually, what we did is I was on a former podcast, my old podcast buddy, Wolfie D, Live and in Color with Wolfie D, and we promoted you for Captain's Corner at GrappleCon a few years ago. So, yes, sir. And that's how I officially met you. And
Nick up in New York, right?
Yeah, Captain's Corner. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah. What a nice guy he is.
He's a great guy. We work with him quite a bit. He, when that show ended, Nick came over to our show. And so we've done a lot of the same things, but the cool thing is I got a lot of those contacts through him, and you're one of those. So it's been,
Nick's a super nice guy with a class act.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's always got something going on. I'm sure you'll see him soon sometime down the road.
Good deal. Man, guys, I appreciate you. Y'all been very respectful, and I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Have a great day, and thank you again, sir.
You bet. Y'all take care.
Yes, sir.
You too. Thanks for coming on.
All right, that was the one and only Brian Adias. We'll be right back to wrap things up on Gimme Back My Pro Wrestling after these messages.
Hey, my name is Tammy Reynolds. I am the wife of Forsaken Rick Reynolds, that super cool guy that everybody knows and loves. And I represent West Side Sauces. I make sauces, I bottle them, I seal them, I sell them. I have a hot honey sauce, I have a sweet sauce, I have a hot sauce, I have a white sauce that's so yummy you can use it on everything. They are absolutely amazing, and I'm so proud of them. We make them from scratch. So go on our website, westsidesauces.com, check out our products, read about our story, and go online and order you some of these yummy sauces. And Rick actually uses all of the sauces because he is a die-hard smoker and griller, and so he likes really good sauces and rubs, and I make them, so how convenient is that for him? Go on our website, westsidesauces.com, order you some samples, and I think you'll thoroughly enjoy them. Thank you guys. Be blessed.
All right, guys, we are back, and man, that was awesome. Brian Adias always has some great stories. Of course, he was just on that biography for the Von Erichs that we discussed at the start of the show, and that really sealed the deal on getting Brian on the show. I had to have him as soon as I saw that he was in that, which made total sense. So had a great time with Brian. Thanks again, Brian, for dropping by and telling your story, man. Hope to get to talk to you again sometime in the future. We really appreciated it. Hope y'all enjoyed that as well. A few more things to cover before we're done today, guys. Of course, our buddy Pastor Rick Reynolds and his ministry, Gideon's Warriors. They tell wrestling stories and their testimony. If you'd like to book them for your church today, email Rick at icw2009@hotmail.com, and you can get them for your church today. Great guys. All right, continuing on, please keep our buddy Ben Jordan in your continued prayers. We appreciate Ben, and we just appreciate it so much. I know he does too. Next episode, guys, we cannot spill it here, but brother, it is an awesome one, so just hang on tight. If you want to know as quickly as absolutely humanly possible, make sure you are on @GMBMPW on Facebook, Instagram, X, and YouTube. And guys, thank you all so much for the ones that already do follow us, share, like, subscribe, and all that. But most importantly, guys, we just appreciate you for listening. It means the world to us. All right, guys, that's all I got for today for this awesome Brian Adias episode. So, for the one and only Brian Adias, our territory wrestling guru Quinton Quarisma, and myself, this has been Gimme Back My Pro Wrestling. We'll see y'all next time.
Don't forget.
I'll tell you the deal. The deal is I'm going to the top. This man right here is who I'm going to the top with. Just wait a second. This is the man that I'm going to the top with right here. For you people who don't know it, this is my good friend Al Madril.
We remember Al.
Yeah, I talked to Al the other day on the phone. Then he came down to Dallas. I saw his new car. I saw his new house that he's buying. Hey, this man's been on top for a long time, and I'm going to listen to him. What do you say, Al?
Hey, that's all fine. New car's fine, the house, the boat, whatever he's got. But I've called you. I've left messages. What's the matter? Your phone don't work? You can't answer your telephone? What's the problem?
Hey, I don't have a problem. I don't have anything to say to you. Just leave me alone.
Talking to, man. This is your buddy. Your buddy from high school. Your buddy from junior.
Come on, Eric, why don't you shut up and let a real man talk for a change, baby? The living legend is back, baby. That's right, Al Madril. You know what? I'm trying to straighten you out.
Okay, I got it. I see his lips moving, but you're the one doing all the talking, aren't you, Madril? Well, I never thought much of you anyway. And here you come out here running your mouth.
Well, let me tell you what. As long as I've wrestled here, baby, I never got to wrestle one of the Von Erich boys. Why? Why? Because you ain't got no guts, boy. What happened? You fell off your tricycle, you stubbed your toe, and now you can't wrestle. Well, you're nothing, Von Erich. You've never been nothing, and you never will, baby. I'll tell you what.
Take it easy with Kerry, please. Hey, take it easy. Oh, no. Hey, down, Madril is on the leg. Ow, that leg is hurt. That leg is hurt. Get off of it.
With a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment in my life.
We'll see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
This has been a James Rock Street production.